And we are recording. Welcome, everyone. This is your host, Abraham L. Jaguar, a professional game master. First of all, this channel is proudly sponsored by Inkforged. This is a fantasy role playing game of high detail but very easy to play. You can imbue your weapons and gear with magically charged ink. You will find it in the description and in the pinned comment. This channel is also proudly sponsored by the Red Room Publishing. Please check out their store for exclusive tabletop RPG products. They have recently released New Flesh, a future noir tabletop RPG where cyberpunk meets biological horror. You will find their website in the description and in the pinned comment as well. This channel is also proudly sponsored by Dead Tree Studios, the publishers and developers of Dames of Asstoria, a tabletop role-playing game where you play as monster girls, experiencing high adventure in a world that doesn't fully accept them. They have recently released The Daughters of Lamb. This is a pay what you want tabletop RPG where you play as cybernetic nuns with guns, looking for the missing pieces of their AI god. You will find it in their website. The links will be in the description and in the pinned comment. This channel is also proudly sponsored by the Era Zone Teen Quest prototype tabletop RPGs. This is a collection of scene style role playing concepts ready to play. Everything from science fantasy, science fiction, horror, you name it. You will find the link to the Kickstarter in the description and in the pinned comment. Now, let me maximize myself. Here I am. Maximize. Okay, this time I'm going to talk about the voice acting, and theater error in tabletop role playing games. I am curious as to how this got started. I suspect it's because of something that I have mentioned in other videos. When it comes to tabletop role playing games, when it comes to this hobby, it is sometimes treated as the recycle bin or trash bin for people that sometimes didn't make it in other places. They were not good at understanding the rules for board games. They were not good when it comes to miniature painting. They were not good as storytellers. They were not good at acting in theater. They were not good as movie directors. And somehow they end up here in tabletop role playing games. And usually they try to push their ideas on the hobby. And no, role playing is not voice acting, and it is not acting, and this is not a theater play. Let me explain why. Some people say, oh, role playing is voice acting. That is it. Role playing is voice acting. Now, many of you know, role playing in tabletop role playing games consists of describing your actions in the fiction. That is it. Describing. That is it. When it comes to voice acting, you can voice act in order to have fun. It is not necessary for roleplay. And I use voice acting all the time, but it is not necessary. I do it because I enjoy voice acting. So you could, as I have said many times before, as an example, you could get to an inn and talk to the innkeeper. Good evening, good sir. Are there any rooms available? Or you can describe it. I approach the innkeeper and ask him if there are rooms available for the night. As simple as that. As simple as that. Now, what if you were to roleplay a mute character, a character that cannot speak? How would you voice act that? You cannot. You have roleplay describing. I communicate to the other members that we have already seen that ancient relic before. I tell the other members of the group that I read about a legend concerning floating swords. There you go. You don't need to be an expert at sign language to communicate that if your character is mute. You could even make it clear if you want to. I use sign language to communicate. What if you are role playing as an extraplanar being, an alien or whatnot, that can only communicate through emotions or perhaps by sending information directly into the mind of other characters? I stand before the evil mercenary and project emotions of wrath, anger, and hate in order to intimidate him. I establish a connection with Joe and send the exact coordinates of the location of the secret cache. You cannot do that with voice acting because that character has no voice. It is an alien that has no voice. Yet, through the magic of roleplay, you can still roleplay that character. Voice acting is not necessary. Another fallacy by the same logic. You are not an actor. When it comes to tabletop role playing games, you can act if you want to have fun and you are still very limited. And why is that? Because actors in movies, in theater, actors, they don't describe their actions. They act, they perform. They, instead of, I move towards the wooden door and knock on it while yelling, they actually walk up to the wooden door on the stage or on the movie set, they knock on it, and they yell. So, in tabletop role playing games, role play is not acting. You are not acting, you are not an actor. You are describing your actions. Someone could be a terrible actor, the worst actor imaginable, the worst, and he could still be an excellent role player by describing the actions of the character. I approach the door and knock on it while yelling, telling them to let me in. Again, by the same logic, role playing games are not theatrical plays. You are playing the role of a character in a fictional environment. And remember, this is not acting in a theater or in a movie. You are actually embodying that character. You are experiencing the game world as that character. And just like in real life, when you drive to work, there is no one watching your performance. You are not doing some sort of theatrical or movie performance. You are just driving to work. When you are fixing something, making some automobile repairs, whatever, you're not performing for someone. You're just fixing your car. So whenever you play tabletop role playing games, if you're playing as if someone is watching you, and I've seen some horrible examples of this, you're trying to carry out some sort of movie performance or theater performance. You're still not role playing. You're not getting it. You're not in the spirit of the game. You're not existing in the game world. You're expecting someone to watch your performance. That's why the term theater of the mind is so incorrectly applied. And I think this is the fault of old World of Darkness, White Wolf, specifically White Wolf. When they started with their Theater of the Mind books, they also started with the storyteller name for a game master. They were so desperate to separate themselves from other tabletop RPGs that they came up with these horrible terms. But it is not the theater of the mind because there is no theater and there is no audience. Unless you are playing a tabletop RPG that features an opera house or theater house or something, there is actually a tabletop RPG and it looks really cool. I have it. I think it's called Opera. I'm not sure. I have to search it in my files. But one of these days I want to play it, and you're pretty much playing the role of an actor or staff in a theater. Then there is a theater. Then there is an audience. But when you are taking on the evil alien forces in a distant planet as this pulp action space hero, whatever, you're not acting. You are actually that hero fighting in that planet. When you are an intrepid archaeologist, Indiana Jones style, exploring the ancient ruins, saving your life from the hazards and the evil natives and the factions and whatnot, you're not in a theater. You're actually trying to save your life while discovering the ancient mysteries of the past. So that makes it crystal clear. Voice acting is not roleplay. Acting, as in a theater or in a movie, is not roleplay. You are not in a theater with an audience when you play tabletop role playing games. You are existing in a fictional environment. That is it. Thank you for watching this video. I hope it was informative and entertaining. And thank you so much to those of you that are going the extra mile to support the channel. If anyone else wishes to further support the channel, consider joining as a member using the super thanks button, like, subscribe. Take a look at the information in the description, the pinned comment. This has been your host, Abraham L. Jaguar, a professional game master. And remember, in tabletop role playing games, you are not having a conversation about your characters. You are experiencing the game world as your characters. Once again, thank you and see you later.